Well, you haven't said what you're doing here yet.
Well, I'll tell you, missus. I had to see a chap about a dog down Pandy Creek way, and riding back, I happened to spy your light. Barney, I said to myself, here's you frozen half to death in this raw wind, and over yonder where that light is, you can bet your bottom dollar there's a good fire, and the only widow in the South Riding what knows how to use a rolling pin.
Well, there's more than one use for a rolling pin.
Oh, somebody has had their feathers ruffled the wrong way. What's that? Now, don't tell me. Let me guess. Yes? Yes? I'd say without a doubt that's rabbit pie.
Oh, rabbit pie and pork.
Rabbit pie and pork. Do you know, missus, I can't rightly remember the last time I tasted rabbit pie and pork.
Miss Burton?
Oh, there you are. I hope I'm not late.
Well, as a matter of fact, you are.
Oh, I'm very sorry.
I make it 1 minute and 35 seconds. I've reserved a table. Shall we go straight in?
Thank you.
Would you like something to drink first?
No, thank you. Perhaps something with the meal?
I'm afraid I'm not able to suggest anything.
I ate here at lunchtime.
Oh, well, then I must be guided by you.
Well, the food here is rather like Mrs. Beddoes' philosophy of life. If you don't expect too much, you won't be disappointed.
You couldn't find anything finer anywhere. Not anywhere. Except perhaps a bit of that tasty cake of yours.
Yeah, I didn't invite you to a three-course supper. Well, come to that, I didn't invite you at all. What are you doing down here so far from home?
Tell you the truth, missus, I've had you on my mind quite a lot lately.
Oh, have you? Well, that's a liberty if you like. And what have you been thinking about when you've had me on your mind, pray?
Well, I'll tell you, missus, it struck me one day like this. Barney, I says to myself, there's widow Mrs. Brimsley, down yonder in Cold Harbour, looking after them two lads of hers, and that Belair, feeding them like lords, but without a bit of real company for her own sake. It don't seem right somehow. I said to myself, I'll bet she doesn't set foot outside yon place once in 3 weeks. So why don't you have a ride down there and cheer her up?
Who says I need cheering up?
I don't want to poke my nose where it's likely to get chopped off. But it don't need a chap with my feeling for human nature to know that I've dropped in just when that is what you do need.
How is Midge now, really, do you think?
Much better.
It was a good idea sending her to Mrs. Beddoes.
Yes, I think it was. Anyway, I'm going up the day after tomorrow to bring her home for Christmas.
That's a good woman.
A first-rate friend. How do you find the wine?
Oh, very pleasant. Do you know a lot about wine?
Well, I thought it was the best of a rather indifferent bunch. Actually, I was lucky enough to travel a good deal on the continent before the war.
Oh, what kind of places did you get to?
Paris, Vienna, Monte Carlo, Biarritz, Baden-Baden.
Oh, really? How interesting.
Your travels took you rather further afield, I believe.
Yes, mostly. But I went to Germany twice before Hitler and his bully boys made it impossible.
You don't like those Nazi fellas, eh?
No. Do you?
Well, I can't say I've thought much about it. Germany's been in chaos ever since the war. Obviously, the people wanted stability more than anything else. Otherwise, they wouldn't have given them such an overwhelming majority.
But surely stability at the cost of persecuting minorities, of making scapegoats and concentration camps.
Ah, you mustn't believe all you read in the papers.
I do believe the evidence of friends who disappear without trace.
Yes, that must be distressing. Anyway, I expect they'll turn up again when things settle down. Oh, it seems we're to be serenaded for the rest of the meal.
I can see where Lydia gets her imagination from, says she. If all parents was as intellectual as you, Mr. Holly, says she, I'd be happier woman. But I've had bad luck, as you might say, since my Annie passed away. It doesn't look as if Lid's going to get to university because I had to fetch her away from school to look after the kiddies. But it's not good enough.
What are you going to do?
And that's the question. That is the question.
Well, I were married at 18 and had 7. Oh, 5 lasses all married and out of the world themselves, and 2 lads still at home. I could sometimes wish they were all kiddies again. Well, at least we're a house full of young uns you know you wanted. You don't feel stuck on the shelf.
You not wanted? You stuck on the shelf? A fine-looking, bonny woman like yourself? You not wanted? Why? You're the only sort that is wanted. You're the salt of the earth, and don't I know it?
Oh, all you care about is cupboard love. Hanging around here to get a piece of pie and a slice of cake.
No, there's more to it than cupboard love. And more to a fine, bonny woman than a light touch with a pie crust. That I can tell you, missus.
Oh, can you? Hey, I wish you'd stop calling me missus.
What's your name, then?
It's Jessie. Oh, though I'm sure it's none of your business.
What if I say I mean to make it my business? Jessie.
There doesn't seem to be much to do in Manchester after dinner.
No.
A cigarette?
Thank you. Anyway, it's warm and comfortable here and it's cold outside.
Do you mind this noise?
Not at all.
Do you like dancing?
I love it. But of course I haven't danced for, over 18 months or so now.
Well, nor have I. Far longer than that.
Do you remember the wartime dance craze?
Oh,
Did you ever dance at the Grafton Galleries?
once.
It won't be a stylish marriage, for I can't afford a carriage. But you'll look sweet upon the seat of a bicycle made for 2.
Who taught you to sing?
Oh, my dad was a great singer. And I used to do solos in chapel at Farrowhill when I was a young chap. Of course, talent runs in our family. Might have been a poet if I'd thought on.